So I finally found my next project car. I've just come out to, where have I come out to? I've come out to Brandon, and yeah, I'm really liking this car. I've now bought it, and yeah, it's got a few things to be fixed, obviously, because you know that's the whole point of buying a car as a project. But yeah, I'm excited to show you this one. It's going to be exciting, and it's going to be a big job. So it's taken me a while to actually find a car that I want to be working on. Got the V5, it's all sorted, it's all paid for, but here it is. This is the Audi A5, it's a 3-litre V6 Quattro. Yeah, super cool. I really like these cars, and you know, to be honest, I think it's relatively clean for the age of it, and you know how many miles is actually covered. But you know, it's a diesel. It's the same with the Golf. You know, the Golf is still going, so I can imagine this will continue to run for a long time after I'm finished with it, at least. But yeah, needs a clean. It's super dirty. This is going to be the biggest project that I've done to date, so I'm super excited to actually get started on it. I'm just waiting for the recovery man to come and pick this up. The engine runs, but it doesn't drive, so there's your first clue. Obviously you'll find out in just a second, but write down in the comments whatever you think it is. But again, it doesn't drive, but it does run. So there we go, she's home. Beautiful. Absolutely needs a clean. So the first thing I'm going to be doing right now is cleaning the inside and the outside. Yeah, it's absolutely disgusting. Under the bonnet there's just, I mean, it's not disgusting, it's actually looks very clean for the age, but yeah, it definitely needs a clean out. Underneath the bonnet it's just been sitting for a little while. There's cobwebs everywhere, and there's you know, it just looks a little bit dirty. But I mean, considering it's actually not too bad, it needs, you know, I need to go under here and just clean all this out, and you know, just give it a nice clean. But yeah, I'm super happy with this, and we'll see how it goes. So with the car delivered home, I'm going to take the first few steps to getting this car fixed. And the first thing I need to do is get it on all 4 axle stands. I'm actually not going to use all 4 axle stands. I'm going to use 2 axle stands on the back, and then I've got 2 ramps for the front 2 wheels that I'm going to put the car on, so I can actually have access to underneath the car and be able to be under there and have plenty of room. So hopefully this lifts the car up enough for me to be able to have access to everywhere under the car, and yeah, then we'll see how we get on. So like I just said, I've got these whatever they're called, car ramps. I've got 2 of those, and then what I'm going to do is put the rear on axle stands. I've got 2 jacks, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift both sides of the front up pretty much at the same time, and then I'm going to obviously get the ramps underneath the front wheels. Once that's all sorted and everything's level and sweet, then I'll move on to the back, and I will start to, you know, lift both sides up again and put the axle stands on the back, and then hopefully we'll have plenty of room. This is literally the biggest car that I've ever worked on, so I want to be extra safe. I don't want this coming down on top of me. So yeah, gonna take extra precautions and make sure we're doing everything right. So if you haven't guessed yet, I thought this would be a good time to drop the big job that I'm going to be doing on this car. Yeah, if you haven't guessed, then unlucky. If you have guessed, then it's a clutch. So I need to do the clutch, I need to do the flywheel, and obviously the pressure plate. So yeah, getting this clutch out is going to be a big job. It's going to be prop shaft out, like take the Bellhausen bolts out, get the transmission out, and then hopefully we can get a new clutch in. It's funny because I was actually going to be doing a clutch on the Golf, but this came up and I had to buy it because I've wanted one of these for so long. So yeah, just kind of went for it, and I'm super excited to be able to do this and eventually to be able to even drive it. You know, like that's one of the massive things for me, especially on this job, is I know I can't drive it, and I know the engine runs nicely, and I know, you know, everything's sweet. I mean, I don't know, but I'm hoping. But yeah, being able to eventually drive this car is going to be awesome. So yeah, you know, this is my first big project, so welcome to the channel. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure to hit the subscribe button, because I'm going to be doing a lot more stuff like this. I'm going to really be challenging myself and pushing myself to the limits of what is absolutely possible. So underneath the car, first thing I really need to take out is the exhaust, because the exhaust is in the way of the prop shaft, which is here. I need to take this heat shield out right here so I can obviously get the prop shaft out eventually, but the exhaust is the first thing that needs to come out. Yeah, issue straight away really. These, I don't know if these are actually meant to be bolts or screws or what, but they are corroded to shit. So, oh my god, let me see if I can, there we go. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to get those out, and getting the exhaust out from the top is just not the one, because I need to really get this disconnected here so I can, you know, pull the exhaust out from the top, if so. But I mean, it would be easier to just disconnect it straight from there, and then just take the rest of the exhaust out from down here. But yeah, I'm gonna have to figure that one out. So that's that's the first issue. So it's currently 8 AM the next day, and yeah, I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to remove all of the scuttle panel and remove the downpipe from the turbo, because as you've seen, I cut off one bolt, but I just physically cannot get to the other ones. So I'm going to have to disconnect the rest of the exhaust going back into like the middle cut, and then I'm going to have to pull the exhaust out of the top, obviously from taking the scuttle panel off, and yeah, and then hopefully I can get the grinder and chop off those other bolts, because they are just not coming off. So the first thing I need to do is just remove this engine cover, pop, and then what I need to do is start taking off this heat shield here, and then I need to remove the downpipe from the turbo, obviously take out the lambda sensors, the air, you know, air sensors and all the other sensors. I think there's another one down the back here. There's 3 on this one here, and one down there. And then I need to take out all of the scuttle panel. I think I might do the scuttle panel first, to be honest, because it's just going to be impossible to get this out while all of this is in here. So yeah, take all of this off, and then we'll see if we can get the downpipe off. We need to disconnect the middle section of the exhaust, so then we can pull the downpipe and the middle section out from the top here. So yeah, let's get it. So I believe right now that's as far as I can get with this scuttle panel. I can't actually get it off because the downpipe is there, and obviously it curls round, so I can't actually get that off right now. So what I'm going to do next is go under and start taking off the exhaust from the back. So whoever put these bolts on this way, they suck, because now I've got to get a ratchet on it instead of just getting an impact and just taking it straight off. Oh yeah, it's not too bad. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start removing this cover from the turbo. It looks like it's now going to rain, so I don't know how long I'm going to be out here, but we'll get as much off as we can. There we go, and then we just need to move this out the way, move this connector, this next one just down here, try not to lose my bit. All this screw. What I've actually been doing is just putting all of the bolts back in, because I know at some point it's going to start raining and I'm going to have to leave this project for a little while. So then I know where all of the bolts are, I know where everything goes, I know exactly which bolt went where, and we're good to crack on. So I believe these are just a, no, completely wrong, that might be a 17mm. Yeah, this one's a 17mm. There we go, that's that one loose. I'm gonna need a pick for those because I'm notorious for breaking these little bits here, so I'm gonna leave that for a second. There we go, like I said, snapped. Fuck. So the next thing I need to do is just remove these bolts here, screws here, sorry. So I just got the other oxygen sensor out here. I just let it soak in WD-40. I've got this one out here. This one is loose. This one is actually stripped, so the bolt is snapped. So I'm gonna have to pull that out once I get the manifold off. Once I get the downpipe off. I think I might be able to just slide this scuttle panel off now. I might be able to. There we go. Oh my lord. So I figured out a super awkward way to get this last bolt off. I've actually got like a, tell you what, let me get the nut out and I will show you exactly how I've been doing it. Because it's so awkward. Right, so I finally got the nut undone. I've used a small extension and like a bendy bar bit and 12mm, and yeah, it's been fun, but finally got it off. Just taking the nut off now. There we go. Right, so now we've got, I think we've got another sensor under here. This thing here needs to come out, so I just climbed up, I got the spanner down under here and I just pulled on it, and nicely enough that's just come off. So just one more bit. You can see up here there's a little spring that holds the exhaust on, so it's just a 13mm right there. It's very loose, so yeah, we'll just get that off and then hopefully we can get the downpipe off. So this is where I could really do with someone else's help, because obviously I'm trying to get the whole pipe out. I've got to kind of like bend it. I might even have to take the bloody bonnet off to get that off. I really don't know, but it just like, I need to twist it and bend it and guide it through the bottom. It's just getting stuck on places. Okay, yeah, well, bear with me and I'll get this out. So I just got my friend to come and give me a hand to get the cat out, or the cat out. Basically, this is what's happened to the bolts. That's the one I grinded off. That is the absolute abysmal nut, and that one just there is the other abysmal nut. So basically, what I had to do is I had to take off the bracket, which is here with the spring. I had to take that off. I also had to take off the nut for the steering rack, which is somewhere up there. So I had to take off the steering rack just to be able to get that out, because basically you can still see the exhaust right there. I'm trying to get all of that out of the top. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to now I can't get it any further, but I can cut these off and then hopefully separate these two pieces and then take that bit back down the bottom to be able to then get this whole thing out. But yeah, there's no chance I was getting that out on my own, so really appreciate you, Mark. But yeah, let's get these grinded off and hopefully we can get that separated. So just before I grind anything off, I'm just going to cover up the turbo hole because I do not want anything going into the turbo from, you know, from grinding this off. I think everything else is okay, and then we're just going to have to hit it. So all of the nuts I've just ground off, and as you can see, I've just smacked it with a hammer and we're basically off. Oh my lord. Come here, fucking cat. Meow. There we go. Right, now we can go back underneath and get that out of there. I finally got all of the exhaust out after having to grind all of the nuts off. These, I don't have a clue what the hell they are, but I tried to get them out and they're literally just crumbling, so I'm gonna have to grind those off and then drill through them, and then obviously when I put it back together, put new bolts and nuts on. But yeah, they have probably been on there for that, you know, its whole life, so they're absolutely destroyed. But yeah, super happy I got all of those out eventually. So that's it for this episode. I'm going to be taking the rest of the underside off and, you know, dismantling everything else over the next episode or maybe two, and then hopefully I can get the gearbox down and, you know, take out the clutch and have a little look at that, see why it failed, and yeah, then we can put the new clutch in and start putting it all back together. I'm not looking forward to how heavy that gearbox is going to be, but we'll figure out a way to work around that, and yeah, we'll get this done. Till next time, take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.